Today, we'll be doing a deep dive on Atom Tradement and the Bread Wallet. I'm going to explain how the underlying technology of the Bread Wallet is being used to revolutionize the banking industry, opening the world of crypto up to every bank customer on the planet, which currently accounts for 6 billion people. Spoiler alert, this is closer than you think. Second spoiler alert, the 1.7 billion people that are currently unbanked will not be left out of this new financial system. Swifter than Swift. Fluid like a rapid current. Ambitious. I will change the world. Okay, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, let's kick this off by finding out a little more about Atom Tradement. This man is the CEO of 3 companies, being the Bread Wallet, SBI Ripple Asia, and SBI Mining Chip Company. I became interested in this man after watching a video by the digital asset investor the other week. I wanted to elaborate more on the findings illustrated in that video and provide some insight into how I see this technology being implemented. For this video, I'll be narrowing in on Blockset, what it is, what it does, and what it could mean for the blockchain industry and for you. The intent of this video is to attempt to answer one question. Are we headed to a decentralized financial system where banks behave as a centralized consumer-facing service? This question sounds counterintuitive, but as we dive into the information in this video, things will begin to make sense. I'm going to play this simple explainer video on Blockset before I dive into my own thoughts on the topic.
This is Jamie. Jamie is a product manager at a financial company that recently started a project involving the blockchain, a project Jamie is leading. Now, Jamie's engineering team isn't familiar with blockchain technologies, but engineering is engineering. How hard could it be? Well, Jamie's team soon realizes that not all blockchains are created equal. In fact, many are riddled with their own eccentricities and complicated protocols, making unification difficult. Then Jamie's team realizes that to keep their customers' assets secure, they need to manage the Byzantine cryptographic functions that come with blockchain security. One mistake, and those assets are gone forever. All this, plus the complexity and expense of hosting their own nodes, or even building their own chain, plus the additional infrastructure, market data, business intelligence, system maintenance, and uptime, all without any blockchain experts or support. Fortunately for Jamie, none of this happened, because Jamie found Blockset by BRD. Jamie's team can read and write data across multiple blockchains through Blockset's single unified API. They can build custom custodial solutions with Blockset's open source wallet SDK. They can even launch their own chain, host nodes, and maintain their infrastructure with help from Blockset's dedicated professional services. All of this will help Jamie and Jamie's engineers bring their project to market in a fraction of the time, for a fraction of the cost. Visit blockset.com to learn more.
Now that we've watched that, let's really drill down into it. What is Blockset? Put simply, Blockset is a single application programming interface, API, that sits as an additional layer on top of every blockchain. It's the back end of the Bread Wallet consumer app that talks to all the underlying blockchains. It's been productized to behave as a set of building blocks to help companies develop software for blockchain access. Now, why is it a game changer? Blockset gives banks the ability to have an enterprise-class blockchain solution in a matter of months for a fraction of the price. Blockset is a game changer because it gives developers access to a single API which acts as a go-between for software applications. Now, this API acts as a layer that sits on top of all of the blockchains: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Stellar, Cardano, the lot. Blockset maintains and updates the underlying blockchains, and the developers only have to code to one spec, being the Blockset API. Imagine you are a developer in the bank and the Scrum Master comes up to you one day and says, "We want to start offering crypto to our customers, and we want you to build it." Being the confident go-getter that you are, you reply saying, "Sure, no worries, which ones?" The Scrum Master replies, "Let's say the top 3. You go away and start to code the project, not realizing that you need to understand the nuances of every blockchain to do this, as well as the different coding languages involved, like C++ for Bitcoin and XRP, and Solidity for Ethereum. Blockset is groundbreaking because developers won't need to understand the nuances of every blockchain and can avoid a lot of the complications that come with this. It also means that these institutions can bring a product to market much quicker and cheaper, because running a node for each of these blockchains doesn't come cheap, and it also takes a lot of time to develop. Additionally, because digital wallets created via this API will be decentralized, the people that have wallets with these services will be in control of their own money. Essentially, what this means is that we will move from an asset under management AUM financial system to an asset under protection AUP system. You still go through the bank, but now they act as an exchange, lender and borrower, rather than all of those plus being the custodians of your money. What this could mean for banking services at the customer level. At a customer level, this could be quite empowering for an individual. I believe this could be part of the level playing field scenario we hear a lot about. To understand why this could be empowering, you have to understand how the current system works, and I will briefly explain that now. So, when you open your banking app and see a bunch of numbers on the screen, that's all it is, a bunch of numbers on the screen. It's basically an IOU from the bank. Sometimes this IOU isn't settled in a timely manner, and when this happens, the bank simply sends an automatic email to the customer saying that transaction will take 24 hours to process. Now, this is why I'm extremely excited by Blockset. Given this product will enable decentralized finance through front-end customer-facing banking apps, people will be in control of their own funds, so there will no longer be this blanket treatment of all customers, where everyone is given the same fixed interest rate for banks to use their money whenever they like. Instead, I believe people will have this new financial flexibility. To elaborate on this, I'll illustrate a potential scenario with supply and demand mechanics. Imagine the bank has come to you and said they would like to borrow your money to loan to a customer. Supply is low and demand from the banks is higher, so you say, yes, no worries, but I want 6% interest. The bank begrudgingly agrees, offering you 6% and loaning it out to the customer at 8%. What this means for the cryptocurrency market. I believe that an offering of this caliber is the final frontier. This is where the late majority and laggards enter the market. When you can open up your banking app and exchange your digital fiat into cryptocurrency right there in the app, I can assure you that cryptocurrencies will be a much higher price. This will come after all institutional money has already entered the space during the early adopter and early majority phase. Finally, I'd like to conclude with a statement made by Brad Garlinghourse, the CEO of Ripple. He made a prediction several months ago that he believes 2020 will be the year that banks custody digital assets and offer crypto to their customers. But I don't believe this is a prediction. I believe he knows, from his involvement with Adam Trademan, the Bread Wallet, Blockset, and Ripple's numerous partnerships. If you made it this far, thank you. Aside from changing the face of the financial industry, my mission here is to educate as many people as I can with the best quality information that I can offer. I really appreciate you showing your support with a sub, share, like, and comment. I'll see you in the next one. Zerps out.
You. Come on, you can do it. Just a little bit closer now. Come on, you're almost there. Come on, reach out. You've got it right on the edge. Yes. Oh God, no!